Hello and welcome to the Lone Larch Podcast. My name is Jenny and you are watching the Lone Larch Podcast. This is episode 6. Today is a day. It's February 24th, I think. If not, it's around that time. So there you go. As you can see, I am not at my house. There's no green walls. There's no loud paintings. There's a forest. I'm at Amy's house, my friend Amy. She is in Mexico. And so I took the afternoon to myself, and here I am at Amy's house recording a podcast, having some quiet time. And it is so silent in her house, it's very, very eerie. And it's actually tripping me out a lot. I've now tried to start recording this 3 times. This is the 4th time. And I just feel so strange, which is weird because Amy's house is it's a safe place. I don't need to be uncomfortable, but it's just weird, the silence. So we are joined by Ebony. Ebony is sitting over on the windowsill. I'm not going to bug her. She's a tiny kitten and she's black. I'm sure you'll see her throughout the thing and you might hear her little jingle of her collar. She's watching the birds out in the forest. So I am Jenny, as I said before, on Instagram. I am Lone Larch Designs. On Etsy, I have a shop called the Lone Larch Designs, and on Ravelry, I am Jentastic. You can go and find me in any of those places if you're not already following me. If you are, awesome, thank you, hi. So, there's Ebony. Normally, I live in Olds, Alberta, Canada. Olds is pronounced Olds. It is in the province of Alberta, and we are in Canada. I'll probably edit that part out because that's a little bit of an inside joke with some of us. I'll keep that to myself, and the rest of you can laugh. But actually, technically, I am not in Olds today. Amy lives in Didsbury, which is pronounced Didsbury. It is 15 minutes down the road. It's just another little town in south central Alberta. So it's a beautiful day. It's, I think, +5. All of our snow is melting or gone. It's been gloriously warm, but if you follow me on Instagram, you saw yesterday I posted a picture of a poplar tree by the library that is pushing its flowers already, which is kind of scary. It is very early here. It is very early here for things to be pushing bud already. So that's kind of scary. But we'll see how it goes. If it continues to be mild, then everything will be fine. But this happened a couple of years ago too, and it was really bad for certain species of trees because clearly they pushed their buds, and some of them even flowered, and then it was like hard frost and cold for another week or two. And it ended up killing so many of those buds that a lot of the trees were either decimated or were really, really set back in their growth. So hopefully that doesn't happen this year. Hopefully, if everything pushes bud, that's fine. Just hopefully it stays mild so that all of our trees don't die, because that would be bad. Yeah. So what else was I going to say about that? Is Amy's forest not amazing? It's gorgeous. Her entire, I think this is east facing, the entire east facing side of her house, it like behind you all the way around, past down into her living room is all windows, and it's all it's all forest. So Amy spends a lot of her time, and me as well, when I'm here, just staring at the forest and watching birds and just enjoying the nature of it. So I'm really happy to be here and to have the whole afternoon. And I'm going to try not to talk as fast as I normally do. I feel like I talk really fast and then I edit it and it doesn't sound fast. But I have zero pressure here. I have nowhere to be. I have no people that are going to be coming home to interrupt. So I'm just going to relax. I found my favorite mug of Amy's. It's this one. I don't know the story behind it. I don't know anything about it. But it was my favorite in her cupboard. So this is what I'm using today. And I needed some tea, some herbal tea to cool my jets a little bit. Just gear down, just gear down. I don't know why. Well, there's a lot of stuff going on. My brain is full of about 1,000 different things. I think it was it was one of those like remember your memories things on Facebook that popped up when I looked at it this morning, and it was one of those little phrase things, and it said, if you want to know what's going on in a woman's head, turn on your internet browser with 2047 tabs open or something, and that is what a woman's mind is like. That is what my mind is like lately. And I'm trying really, really hard to close a lot of those tabs and cross things off my list and de-stress, because I'm having a really hard time focusing on one thing and without having everything else in the back of my head spinning, and how am I going to get that done, and how am I going to do that, and when am I going to do that, and gear down, Jenny, just gear down. It's going to be fine. And so many of those things aren't even important, but you know, they just get in your head and they walk around and they have muddy boots on and they just leave all these trails everywhere, and I need to close some tabs. So this podcast is one of those tabs that I'm going to close for the week. Does this make any sense? I hope it does. I'm so confusing. So what I have decided is that I am not going to podcast every 2 weeks, because missing last week was brutal in the way that it was really, really hard to get the motivation and the guts. I don't know why, but it totally weirded out to record another episode after waiting so long. So I am going to try my absolute best to do it weekly, no matter what. Work gets in the way. Like arborist work gets in the way, but I just have to make it happen somehow, because it's going to end up going by the wayside if I don't stick to my schedule, is what I'm saying. Saying that, the whole arborist thing, I opened up a thread in the Ravelry group, which is the Lone Larch Podcast Ravelry group. That was an Ask Me Anything thread, and someone asked, what is an arborist? If you are new, I am an arborist. That is my training. An arborist is someone that is educated in the biology and the pruning and the maintenance of trees, essentially. So what I do is I do tree risk assessments. If somebody has a tree that's near their house or anywhere within their realm of responsibility, they call someone like me, and I can do an assessment looking at different attributes and situations of the tree. And I can say whether or not, I mean, within reason, whether or not the tree is going to fall over, or if it's going to live for another 1,000 years, or if it, you know, whatever the deal is with it. So if it is fine and just needs some pruning to maybe elevate over a sidewalk or a house so that the house doesn't get damaged, or anything like that, then I prune the tree. So I climb. I don't have a bucket truck. Me and my friend Amy, whose house I'm at right now, we work together. We don't have a bucket truck. We have our bodies and climbing gear. So we get up there ourselves with chainsaws and handsaws and do whatever needs to be done in the tree. If we find that the tree is unsafe and needs to be taken down, then we remove the tree. Pretty simple, right? But it sounds simple, but there's a lot of physics involved. There's a lot of brain power involved. It's a lot more than just climbing up the tree and cutting branches off. There's tension and compression wood, and if you're more interested in that, then Google it, because the internet is there. Use it. Yeah, it's a lot more involved than people think it is. And then, of course, the cleanup of it. Like, you take the tree out, but you have now a tree on the floor that you have to clean up. So it's incredibly physical. Hauling an entire tree out of a backyard is hard work, takes time, and especially when you get someone that has training to do it. It's not really expensive. It's maintenance of your house and property as anything else would be. It's just one of those things that you need to take care of, and better to call an arborist than to have your tree land on your house. So support your local arborist. And if you're interested in anything else about that, I hope that was a good enough explanation for you. There's a website. The governing body of arborists is the International Society of Arboriculture. and their address, their website is, I think it's isa.org or something similar to that. If you just put in ISA, it will bring up something. Here comes Ebony. We'll see if she, oh, there she is. Yeah, that would be Ebony. Psst. Keep going, little girl. Come on. We'll see if she hangs around. So yeah, look it up if you are interested. If not, cool. But that's what I do. So isa.org, and they can tell, there's lots of informative stuff on there. There's ways to properly prune small trees. So if you have little stuff in your yard that is manageable for you, then they give directions on proper pruning cuts and what you should cut back to and just how to do it. So it's a really, really good source of information. And there's lots of stuff about tree biology on there, which is also very important because it is the reasoning behind why we do things the way that we do with trees, which is a huge side of it in my mind. Knowing the tree biology is absolute key to knowing what is best to do for the tree. So that is that. That's what an arborist is. If you're in the UK, it's called a tree surgeon. I'm going to keep that one to myself. I'm just going to stop right there. I was going to get really judgmental about some other people that call themselves arborists, but aren't. But I'll keep that to myself. So moving on. What I'm wearing, let's do that first because I'm getting too hot, so I'm going to take it off. This is a shawl that I made a couple of years ago. My mother-in-law that I've talked about many times, her name is Kathy. She lives in Campbell River on Vancouver Island. We went out to see her a couple summers ago, and I went down to a yarn shop. I'm not going to be able to remember what it's called right now. It's in Courtenay, and it is called Uptown Yarns. I think that's what it is, Uptown Yarns. Very cute shop, awesome. Anyway, I found this yarn there, and I think it's the sweater maker. I can't remember. Future editing Jenny, put it in at the bottom if you can find it. I really like the yarn, and the pattern is the lacy Bacchus? I can't remember what it's called, but it's a very well-known pattern. I've made this scarf about 1,000 times, but I needed something super mindless for knitting while we were out there, so I did this. Oh, and you can see all the beautiful little eyelets. It's a really long, skinny scarf. These are my favorite kind. Because they're not big and bulky, they're just nice and compact right around my neck, and they stay put because you can wrap them 3 or 4 times. So that is that, and it's gonna stay off. Okay, I have a couple fangirl moments to share. Number 1, okay, Eric, are you kidding me? Number 1, you watch my podcast. Number 2, I think you subscribed. And you you follow me on Instagram now. He talked about me on his podcast. You talked about me on your podcast. You're doing my knit along. I nearly had a little bit of a meltdown when you started talking about me on your podcast. I don't know why, because you're Eric and you're living your life as I do in Toronto, and it's fine. But huge fangirl moment, like, oh my god, he knows who I am. Oh, it was a little bit stressful for a while, and then I calmed down, everything was fine. Number 2 fangirl moment was Julie, oh my god, from Diary of a Yarn Snob, bought one of my bags. And honestly, I'm going to say this out loud, it's not my favorite bag that I've ever made. So I was really, really hesitant to send it to her. I'm thinking like, oh, I've got so much more better ones. Calm down. I have such better ones that you could choose from, Julie. Like, I'm thinking this all in my head. She bought my bag, and I didn't realize it was her, you, Julie, at the beginning. I thought, okay, here's another order, fill order. And I looked at the icon, like your little picture icon, and I'm thinking, oh, that's Julie. Oh my god, that's Julie. Are you kidding me? So anyway, huge stress. I don't know if you've gotten the bag or not yet, but I really hope you like it. I love that it's canvas, and I love that it's purple, and the reason it's called, my favorite color is purple, is because Emmy, my little girl, and I always have this debate that her favorite color is purple, and My favorite color can't be purple. No, Mom, my favorite color is purple. Anyway, that's where the name came from. Doesn't matter. Huge fangirl moment. I couldn't believe it. And now it's really stressing me out that that bag is going to you. I really hope you like it. It's not that it's terrible or anything. It's just, I was surprised by your choice. So, enjoy it. I am the worst salesperson in the entire world. Did you know that? Yeah, I'm the worst salesperson in the entire world. Julie, I love your podcast. I love how real you are and how, like, I'm not going to take any garbage from anyone. This is just the way I am. So, well done. High five. Keep going. You're awesome. So, yeah, those are the two fangirl moments. There's been some other ones, but those were the two main ones where I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Freaked me out. So what I'm saying now is I guess I'm kind of a big deal. Not really at all. At all. It's just crazy when people that you admire see you and admire you back. It's a huge compliment, but it's still crazy. Moving on. Favorite podcasts of this week. One of them is a knitting one. No, that's a lie too. The first one is Stitching Between the Pages with Robin. I adore Robin. And I think it's partly because she has super short hair too, and she was a huge factor in me cutting my hair off as well. I saw how good it looked on her and how similarly built we are. And so, Robin, you're awesome. I love you. And I love that you read so much as you do, and I wish I read more. But you're great. You have awesome taste in all the things. And your cats are hilarious. Don't stress about your cats doing things. Like Ebony just walked in front of the camera. Real life podcasting. No big deal. So that one, Stitching Between the Pages, Robin, I think she's every 2 weeks. I'm always super excited when her new podcast comes up because she's really relaxing. The other one I wanted to mention, she's like an old faithful podcast for me. She's actually the first video podcast I started watching, which is Amy Beth from Fat Squirrel. Nobody's talking about her lately, and I just want to say, Amy, I think you're awesome. I absolutely adore your podcast. You make me laugh all the time, out loud. I love that you whisper and that you sometimes do this and like have your little conversations with yourself, because that's exactly what I do. And I love you. You're awesome. Continue on. I didn't tell you what I was drinking, did you? Did I? And then there's one more podcast that I wanted to talk about, which I think I've mentioned before, but I want to say it again because the last 2 episodes have been awesome, and they've just been the perfect podcast for the specific time in my life to listen to it. So I must mention it. It is the Stash podcast. Episode 11 and 12 to me were perfect. 11 was, she interviewed the ladies from Spin Cycle Yarns. I have a huge girl crush on these 2 ladies. Number one, they're so cute. They have the best hair in the world. They're just no bullshit. Like, I am who I am, and I am awesome at my job, and I am just going to fly at it, and this is who I am. And I love that. And just the stuff that they talk about in this podcast is just so real, and real life, balancing kiddos and husbands and work and all of these different things. Just really, really awesome episode. So that was episode 11. And then the last one was episode 12, which I listened to going... the job that I'm doing for tree work right now is an hour away. So I have an hour at 7 o'clock in the morning of drive time. So I download podcasts, clearly. What else would you do? And I was listening to it on the way to work, and I needed something to kind of give me some balls, really. Because I haven't been at work I haven't done big tree work in a couple of months because it's been winter. Things slow down. So I needed to get my guts back, essentially. I needed to be more confident. And so listening to Lauren Dahl, which is episode 12, was perfect because she's the same way. Life is hard. There's so many things to balance, but it's okay. Just do it. Do bits and pieces. Do what you can. Find your coping mechanisms and do it. And just do it. No big deal. So, well, yes, big deal. But, like, sitting around and complaining about it is not going to help the situation. So just go do it. I really enjoyed hers. I think one of the questions was like, how do you cope with the pressures or something like that? And she just said alcohol. I mean, it's an audio podcast, but you could still tell in her voice she was just like, alcohol, but totally joking, but not all at the same time. Everybody has their coping mechanisms, and she was just really chatty and really jokey and real life about it, and not. I hate when people sugarcoat stuff. It just kills me. Like, what is the point of that? Like the whole Instagram thing where you only put your best days on Instagram. I think that's ridiculous because it's just so fake. So fake. And my sister Katie, if you are watching this, you know exactly. We just had this conversation when she was here about the fake Instagram life. Like, clearly people want to see the positive, but you know what? Showing people the negative too is just as helpful because it instills in everyone that we're all working through the same garbage and everybody has junk that they're dealing with. So I can't remember where that came into my head, but there you go. Public service announcement. Show us your garbage on Instagram too. Yeah. I think that's all I have for podcasts. So let's do some knitting finally. Hey? Hey. Okay. I have one finished object and it is somewhere. It is for Lara's quince along. Lara from the Fawn Knits is doing a quince along where you can make anything you want, but it has to be out of Quince and Company yarn. And it is on right now and going until March 31st, I believe. So go enter it because Quince and Company yarn is awesome. And I'd like some more of it. So this is what I made for, there's two, but I'll show you one. This is what I made, and you saw it last week. I made Emmy some little leggings for her dance class and for life in general because she likes leggings or leg warmers. So I made them and they were really fast and they were really fun to make and really mindless. Just a super simple eyelet pattern. So those are those. And you can see from last week, they look very different. She wore them for one day and they stretched out quite a bit, but they still fit her. And who cares? She loves them and they make her happy. And so that makes me happy. So Quince and Company Osprey, I think it's the Aran weight. Osprey in the Rosa Rugosa colorway. Finished object. That's the only finished object I have. I thought I had more because it feels like I've done a lot, but I guess I haven't actually finished anything. But I do have a half finished object. And for all of you waiting to see these, I don't know if you actually are. Which bag did I put them in? Let's try this one. This is my first sock. My first, the Revelstoke stock sock. So I finished it. The foot looks super short, but I wanted it to be short because I wanted it to fit really, really tightly. Pardon me. And it does. And I'm going to show you right now because you know what? I haven't stood on a chair in a long time. So I'm going to do it now. Ready? These socks are amazing. I want to make more and more and more and more. And I'll just get my pants out of the way so you can actually see the sock and hopefully not my super hairy legs. Okay, standing on a chair. Don't worry, Amy, I'm not gonna fall. Let's go this way. Or Sue, whoever yelled at me last time for standing on a chair. Those are the socks. So the pattern goes down into the heel. It kind of goes around your ankle and then down into the heel, keeps on all those crosses. How gorgeous is that, right? And then all the way up the front. And then there's just a little, I guess it's actually reverse stockinette because it's just all pearls. All the way, just on the toe. So, pretty great, right? I really love them. I love the yarn and so happy with them. The only thing that's strange for me is that it has I guess they're eyelets. Oops, just bounced right away on me. It has eyelets in it. I don't know if you could see that. If you could see my skin through it. I've never had socks with eyelets before, so this is very foreign to me. It feels like I'm not wearing a proper sock. but there's so much other fabric that I don't think it's a big deal. I think I'm just being silly. So those are the Revelstoke socks. That's the back. It goes up the back of your leg. Great, right? So happy with that. That is part of my knit along. That's the Canadian pattern sock knit along. I'm gonna put my other sock back on because I feel weird. Canadian pattern sock knit along, and the rules for that is that you have to either use a Canadian designer or a Canadian dyed yarn, a Canadian yarn dyer, and it has to be patterned. Did I say that already? It just can't be a vanilla sock, which, and I mean, I don't care. Just like Debbie Reese just asked me if she could enter some socks. She had some Canadian yarn and she was just doing like a slipped, was it a slip stitch or something all the way around? Totally fine. I don't really care. It's all in good fun. Just join us and have fun. So that knit along goes until March 31st as well. And tonight when I'm editing this, I will open a finished objects thread because people are amazing and already have finished objects and are working on the second one. Elise, really? You're incredible. Well done. Well done. Maybe if I focused a little bit more and such, then I could have that, but it's not me, so that's fine. Oh, so the prizes for my Cal, for my Canadian pattern sock knit along, so far I have Lara from the Fawn Knits, the Fawn and the Fox Etsy store. She has donated one skein of her yarn of your choosing. So when it closes, you'll be able, and when we do the draw and everything, whoever wins will go into her shop and choose a yarn of your choice, whatever's in the shop at the time. I assume that's what makes sense in my head. And if anybody else is interested in donating a prize or something like that, then just let me know, send me an instant or message wherever, on whichever platform you want. Then yeah, send me a message. And I think the smart thing to do, if it's something big, don't send it to me. Just let me know what it is, and then I can show like a picture of it or whatever on here, and then you can send it so that we're not doing double shipping, right? I think that's pointless. Just so that I can actually show it on the podcast. It's not worth it to me. Yeah, let's save money on shipping because we all know how awesome that can be. Half finished objects. So there's a couple things that I have started. I definitely did not start a vanilla sock. Okay, I may have started a vanilla sock for me because I needed a vanilla sock. And I really wanted to use Lara's yarn. And I really wanted to use the Hayas that Candace lent me. So I started a vanilla sock. Don't hate me. So here it is. This is... That's blown out. That's pretty good. It's a touch dark, but that's fine. Let's go over here. There you go. This is some of Lara's reject yarn. It's when she was first starting to dye. Lara from the Fawn Knits. I'm sorry. In my head, I know who she is. I should be more clear. She did a bunch of test runs, and this was one of her test runs. And she doesn't like it. I think it's amazing. Well, I shouldn't say that she didn't like it. It's just not to her taste. It's not what she wanted to produce, so she wasn't happy with it. So she gave it to me. Thank you. Thank you so much. I am enjoying it. The only thing I am not enjoying, Judgment Continues, is the stellina in it. I'm not a stellina person, and I have now, I've now concreted that opinion. I don't like stellina, so judge away. But I do love the colors that are in it. The blacks, and it's just going to blow out, isn't it? That's fine. Nobody cares. There's pictures on Instagram. Go look. These stitch markers I wanted to mention are from Remembrances Pottery. Her name is Natalie, and she is in, I think, Sarnia, Ontario, which is also in Canada. She makes all sorts of things. She makes stitch markers, she makes buttons, which I have somewhere right here. I got some buttons from her too because I won, I can't remember what I won. What did I win? Oh, Sue Santa socks. That knit along, I won something from her shop. A set of buttons, I think it was that specific, I can't remember. So I chose leaves. Shocker, right? Oh, hi, Ebony. Come here, kitty kitty. So these are her buttons. They're exactly the same as the stitch markers, only buttons. They have holes in them, clearly. Captain Obvious. And you can probably see all her information right there at the bottom. She's Remembrance's pottery everywhere, except Ravelry. She is Natalie Sheldon, I think. I don't know if it even says on there. Doesn't matter. Contact her on Etsy, Remembrance's Pottery. Her stuff is awesome. She does yarn bowls. She does all sorts of pottery, everything you can think of. And she's such a lovely lady. She's on Periscope too. She's lovely. I really enjoy her. So that's her. I forgot to show you that last week, so sorry. Okay, so vanilla socks. I did the swirl toe from Sock Architecture. I really liked this toe. I really liked doing it. It's a multiple of 4, and all you do is do the increases the same as you would any other. You do them every single row for a certain amount till you have like half your stitches, and then you do them every other row till you have all your stitches. And it gives you, clearly my provisional cast on is still there, but it gives you this beautiful little swirl, and I really like the look of it, and I hope it fits on my toe. I haven't tried it on yet because these are totally mindless. I need to calm down and chill out knitting, so I haven't really, tried it on yet. So those are those. What else do we have? Okay, so I'm not going to show you my Viajante because I have done quite a bit of work on it, but it looks exactly the same. It's just like 3 more inches of stockinette, so boring. This is something that I am getting really excited about, but I have to be reasonable. This is a this is a bucket paint can thing that Sue sent me. Sue Stokes sent me at she's Knit 24 everywhere. She sent me a Christmas full of goodies and minis and Christmas ornaments, and Sue, you're the best, and I love you. And I'm so sad that I've been missing your Periscopes. I hate going to work because I miss your Periscopes. I need to get my priorities straight, but I adore you. So in this can is going to be a sweater for me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use, this is my main color. This is Cascades Heritage Solids, fingering weight. And then this is Caitlin French, Tell Me All Your Secrets. Tell Us All Your Secrets. Editing Jenny, put it in at the bottom. Fingering that I got from Knit City a couple of years ago, 2 years ago. So what I'm going to do with it is I'm going to make a, what's it called? Seashore by Isabel Kramer. This sweater has been on my list for years, probably 3 or 4 years. It's been in my favorites for 3 or 4 years. And so it's a fingering weight sweater. It's got a big boat neck, insert picture there. And I'm going to stripe it. I'm going to stripe the yoke quite closely, 2 rows of each. And then essentially when I run out of the color stuff, then I'll just finish it with the tan. So that is it. Let's see if I can. Of course the sun's moving, all the glorious light. Who cares? You can see it, right? It's just a little blown out, but who cares? So that's what it's going to be, striped like that. I hope you can kind of see that. So clearly I'm swatching right now. I want to get the gauge spot on because I want this sweater to be my favorite sweater. So I am really taking my time with getting the gauge just the way that I want it before I put all the time and effort into building myself a fingering weight sweater. I was going to do the featherweight sweater. I think I'll wear this one more. I was going to do the Mama Vertebrae. I think I'll wear this one more. I think it's more my style. So that's what I'm going to do with that. And then I have one secret project that I will tell you about. Heather, if you are watching this, close your ears, close your eyes, do whatever you have to do. Pause, or no, don't pause it because then you're still going to see it. Fast forward a while. Because I'm going to show what I'm going to build for your little human that is going to be entering the world in a little while. Okay, Heather, go away. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna build it out of acrylic because it's a baby, and it is a baby, and I want it to be washable. So I found these in my stash, just stuff that I have sitting there collecting dust. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna build the flax sweater from Tin Can Knits Simple Collection, which I've made before for myself, and I'm gonna stripe it. So very similar to the way that I'm gonna do the sweater for me, actually, out of the fingering weight. I'm gonna do the same thing with the flax. And this is actually exactly what I did with my flax. I did the collar, I'll do it in the gray, the collar in the gray, and then I'm gonna do 2 rows of each color, all the way down, all the way down the sleeves, all the way down to about here, and then the bottom will all be gray, and the bottom of the arms will all be gray. But it'll be a tiny little baby sweater for a tiny little boy that is going to be appearing in about a month and a half. So I better get my priorities straight. I should probably do that before I start my sweater. But I'm so excited about my sweater. I want to do it really bad. Priorities are the worst. So that's all I have about the knitting. The other things I was going to talk about is why I haven't been podcasting. Is life has been insane. Thankfully and not thankfully, Jared has been home from work. So I haven't even had to think about finding someone to watch Emmy. I can just book whatever I need to do and go and do it and not even have to worry about her at all, which is really awesome. But at the same time, yeah, we need to work so that we can pay bills and such. So that has been a blessing and not all at the same time. And he cooks for me. He's such a good cook. He's such a good cook. He cooks for me every single night. I don't even have to think about dinner. He just does it, and he's much better of a cook than I am. So gladly, off you go. And thank you, Jared, if you're watching. I don't know if you even watch this. Do you watch it? If you do, it's kind of weird because I think it would bore you to tears. You do know a lot about knitting, though, I guess. Anyway, we'll have that conversation later, maybe in real life. I have been doing a lot of tree work the last week. It has been absolutely killing me, to be honest, because of, like I was saying before, taking the couple of months off. Your body gets lazy, and it's really hard to jump back into it mentally as well. It's a very difficult job mentally as well as physically, because you're high up in a tree, and trees are unpredictable. Trees move. And in the winter, well, it's not cold. It's like +5 today, but the last couple days that we've been working have been 0 or barely minus in the morning. So, I mean, that's not even really a factor, but it's mentally challenging. So exhausting in that way. And I have one more day tomorrow, and I really need to, I don't know, I need to figure out how to make myself get back into it and be happy about it again instead of it being a huge trial. I don't know. I'm struggling with that, as you can tell. The other thing that happened is that my sisters came to visit me. One of my sisters came overnight with her clan. She has 5 kids, ranging from 16 to 6, maybe? They're all amazing kids. And we have a very small house, but having all 6 of them, my sister plus her 5 children, in my house was no big deal at all. They stayed at Amy's house here overnight because we just don't have enough beds or floor space even for that many humans. But having them in my house was just awesome. And I absolutely love all of them. Every single one of those kids and my sister are just amazing people. And I'm really thankful that they came for that visit because it was a huge, energizing experience. It was a huge, energizing couple of days. So thank you, April, for coming. I loved that. And at the same time, well, the second day that they were here, my other sister came. My younger sister came with her 2 kids. She has 2 little girls, almost 5 and 1.5. Hi, kitty, kitty. I know. And they just all of them get along so well, and it was awesome. We just had some really good conversations. We went for forest walks, and the kids just adventured and did their own thing, and they all take care of themselves, and kind of gave my brain a break from constantly going, where's the kid, where's the kid? All of those kids are so used to having littler ones with them that they just keep an eye on each other. And it's just awesome. It was so much fun. And I love how they're growing up. My two oldest nieces are 16 and I'm sorry, Jenna, are you 15 or 14? I can't remember. And I think she does watch this, which is so awesome. I love you guys. Both of them have devices in which they can message me now, and I adore that. I love that we can iMessage and just chat about whatever, even if it's just, hi, how are you doing? Or a little geez, I can't even say that word. Emoji. That was really hard to get out. A little emoji, you know, the little kiss blow that I always do. Just sending them one of those and getting one back is just, I absolutely love it. So really good visit. And my sister April is writing a book. She is a really good writer. She has a blog that is gardening and just life in general. And it's called, she's on aprildemas.com. And it's just a really good blog. And I checked it before I went on here. And April, you need to do another blog post because the last one you did was quite a while ago. So get on it. Not that you're writing a book or have 5 children or have anything else to do, but you're a good writer and I like seeing your posts. So come on, get with it. So yeah, go check out her blog. It's really entertaining. It's really easygoing. Just go check it out. aprildemas.com. Oh, and when my sisters were here, we decided that we're going to go on a camping trip together. Just the 3 of us, no children, just the 3 girls, and we're going to do whatever we want. We're going to go sit in the bush somewhere, and we're going to knit, and we're going to write, and we're going to... There'll probably be guitars involved. April plays guitar. There will be lots of campfire and food, and I am so excited. So we actually booked that, so it's actually going to happen instead of just saying that we want to do it. My little sister Katie was very, I can't think of the word because I'm getting tired. She was very particular that we needed to make this happen. So it's booked and we're going to figure out where we're going to go and we're going to do it. And I'm really excited for that because I love camping and I love trees and being in the bush, clearly, right? The other thing that is booked, that this week has been insane, like completely nuts. The other thing that happened this week is my friend Kate moved to Langley, which is near Vancouver. It's like a greater Vancouver area city. She just moved to Langley last summer and she has enough air miles to fly me and Emmy out to visit them on spring break while her little girl is a year older than Emmy, and they were very good friends when they lived here, and we've been trying to keep that up through Skype dates and sending messages and snail mail, like actual letters and pictures and crafts, and so we tried to keep that relationship up a little bit, and Kate has enough air miles to fly us out, so we booked that, and it's 3 weeks away, and I cannot believe it. And I'm so excited because number 1, I love BC. Number 2, I love Langley. Number 3, I love Kate. Number 4, I love Lanny and Griffey and Glenn and their crazy dogs and their magical forest in the back. Magical forest. She has a magical forest too. Only there's like oak and massive maples and cedar and spruce and every tree. It's magical fairyland, okay? It's just a magical fairyland with moss everywhere, and I'm so excited to see it. I'm more excited to see the forest than I am Kate. Not at all. That sounded so bad. You know what I mean. I can't wait to come, Kate. I'm so excited. And yeah, I'm really excited. So that's happening. Life is insane, and I needed to slow down because I might burn myself out, I think. But after this day tomorrow is over, I think it will be a little bit more reasonable again. So the last thing I was going to talk about is bags. So if you don't care about my bags, see you later. I'll see you next week. And yeah, big kiss. It sounded so rude. I'm the worst. So if you have been following me on Instagram, you may have seen my Mount Revelstoke bags that have completely gone mental. Everyone really likes them as much as I do, which was really exciting to see. I found the fabric and I lost my mind in the fabric store. I lost it. I was howling and screaming, not screaming, but I could not believe that I had found this beautiful fabric in this fabric shop in my tiny little town. I lost it. I was so excited, and then I put it up on Instagram and everyone wanted one. And I was so happy that everyone appreciated what I found and loved it as much as I did. So the Mount Revelstoke bags are gone, and even the pre-orders are gone. So, and I'll show you the Lake Revelstoke bags and then tell you my dilemma. These are the Lake Revelstoke bags. So clearly lake down here, and then you've got the shoreline is about here, and then trees going up. So the Mount Revelstoke bag was pretty much the mirror opposite of this. It was the sky at the top, and then the trees are just different. They're just smaller trees, and then they get bigger as you go down, and then this was the bottom of the bag. So the Mount Revelstoke bags disappeared in a second and a half. Not really, but close to that. It was insane to watch. But for some reason, the Lake Revelstoke bags are not nearly as popular. So, I don't know how to say this, but I'm not going to make any more Mount Revelstoke bags until I can get rid of my Lake Revelstoke bags. Because if I keep getting Mount Revelstoke fabric, I'm going to end up with like 1,600 Lake Revelstoke bags. So, not that they're any worse, not that they're any... like they're a lesser anything than the Mount Revelstoke bags, but the Mount Revelstoke bags are just appealing to way more people's taste, I guess. So that is what's going on with that. If you're wondering why there was no or very little pre-orders, that's why, because I just didn't want to have 1,000 Lake Revelstoke bags sitting around. So that's what I'm thinking of doing. And that is also dependent on how long I can get the fabric for, because the lady at the fabric shop was very specific about not knowing if they were going to be able to get more in or if it was just what they had in the shop. So that's the deal with that. How beautiful is this fabric? I can't even believe it. I love it so much. So that's the Lake Revelstoke bag. There are a few more of those in the shop. The other new one is this one. This is not going to be able to see at all what this is. I hope that you can see this. I'll take some pictures and Instagram them as well when I put them in the Etsy shop, which will probably happen before this is even downloaded. So they'll probably already be in the shop is what I'm saying. This is the Picea bag because it is the silhouette of a pine tree. And Jared made the point that this is what it looks like when you lay in a forest on your back looking up into the sky. Underneath pine trees, clearly. So you've got like all the needles and the branches coming out and then the blue background. Gorgeous, right? Same designer as the Lake and Mount Revelstoke bags. Yeah, same collection. I screamed for this fabric as well. Love it. And I forgot to show you what was in the Lake Revelstoke bag. The liner, all it is the same color as the sky. It's just a solid color. But inside the Picea bag is this silver. Maybe you can see it, I'm not sure. It's silver, just kind of like fiber lines. I don't know how to describe it, but I love it. Oh man, these bags, this one was just mental. Oh, I found a string. Get rid of that later. So there's that one. And then this is an old one that's in the shop. I just put it out for something to look at. That one's still there, the cherry blossoms. And that one has pink on the inside. The same color as the flowers. There you go. There's that. There's that. And then the other two that are new are, it's a fabric I've had in there before. Where'd the other one go? Oh, kitty. Kitty. It's fabric I've had before. It's the Downtown fabric. That's my name for it. The Downtown fabric with the green zip. green leather, dyed green clearly. And then this one has that gold and silver and black liner. And there will be proper pictures that you can actually see what you're looking at in the Etsy shop as soon as I put these up. Saw it before, didn't you? Like that? Yeah. So there's that one. That is these ones are kind of odd shaped because I wanted to use all the fabric that I had left for this stuff. So this one is the tall medium, but it's a little bit bigger than the tall medium. But that will all be explained in the shop and actual measurements and stuff. And then this one is the same downtown fabric, blue, baby blue zipper, the natural suede, or no, that one's leather, same thing really. And this one has a vintage floral in it that matches the zip. And then this one is quite a big bag. This one's an odd shape too. But I didn't want to be wasteful with the fabric that I had left, so I tried to make it a size that would be, able to use it all up. And then this one comes with a matching notions pouch, which is exactly the same as the bag. It has the flower, the floral inside, blue zip, and then the natural suede. So that goes with that. Little tab. And those are all the new bags, which will be in the shop shortly. I think that's going to be a tonight endeavor. That's not going to stay there. Pycia. Yeah, thank you so much for everyone that was so interested in the Mount Revelstoke bags. That just blew my mind. Yeah, so thank you for all the orders that everyone has put in lately. It's been really, really awesome. Really, really great to see that people have similar taste to me and that I'm not just making all of these to be beautiful to me, that they're beautiful to other people too. So, since this little kitty is sitting in my bag right here, I will show you Ebony. What do you got? Oh, you're playing with your collar. Her collar's getting off. To cut those off before I leave. But this is Ebony. She is beautiful. She's still a kitten, and she just got fixed, so, which isn't phasing her whatsoever, but there she is. Isn't she gorgeous, laying in the sun? So now I'm going to sit in the quiet and play with Ebony for a little bit, have some more tea, stare at the forest, and enjoy my afternoon. So thanks for hanging out, and I'll talk to you all next week. Okay, bye. Big kiss.